We are going to have a very important discussion now. Well, one that is sure to grab the attention of many in the country, not just in sport, but also with regards to health matters. Now, when we were growing up in the 90s, there were only two famous goalkeepers in the country. One was William Sokpara for Orlando Pirates, and he would always compete with Brian Baloyi at Kaizer Chiefs. Of course, there were John Tlale at Mamelodi Sundowns, Simon Khopane, Bloom Celtic. But definitely, ask anyone, a football fan who grew up in the 90s, a blonde, dreadlocked Brian Baloyi. He looks nothing like that now. Instead, he's got a very grey beard. He joins me in studio this morning. Brian, thank you so much. What an absolute pleasure to host you this morning. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Good morning, and good morning to the viewers at home.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll talk about the football at some point. But you have been involved in the Brian Baloyi Family Foundation a lot in the past while, and it's also been heavily involved in awareness for breast cancer, and there's a reason for that. You have a personal experience where you had to see your wife battle cancer, and not just once.
Twice, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think from when I retired, I decided that I wanted to dedicate a part of my life to, community development and see how I can use my influence, to help, certain causes. And with that, I decided, like, the older I get, then I'll start getting more involved. And so yeah, we've been, with the foundation, we involved, in courses with sports, with football development, and health issues, and education. On education, we've been doing some work where we've been donating books. We built libraries with shipping containers. Where do I even start with this crazy idea that I have? Last year we did a golf day to raise awareness and resources for my wife's. So we decided as well that that she could now start her own foundation just to focus on breast cancer awareness, and it's called Pink Warrior.
Yeah.
After the golf day, for the whole year, this year, we've been looking at, okay, let's plan the next one for this year.
Yeah.
And she was not happy with, the result, with what we achieved with the golf day, mainly because the biggest part of it is that in October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and with the golf day we felt that you get a bunch of men coming playing golf, and out of 100, maybe you'll get only maybe 10% is even a lot, women that will come and play. So on the day, you end up not really achieving, you get people coming to play only at the end of the golf day, during gala dinner, that you will talk about why are you here.
Yes.
So she felt she wanted to do something. So we came up with an idea where she's doing an event at 10 Bompas, where it's called
Working for Good.
No, Working for Good is something else that came up. So she's doing it's called, let me quickly...
It's fine, you'll remember.
Yeah, I'll remember, but it's a fashion for, for cancer awareness.
Yeah.
And with that, then she's got about 100 to 150 women that will be there, where from like 5-6 hours they'll talk about, all these issues, where then she'll be happy that at least she is now impacting women, and they're talking about, breast cancer issues.
One of the things that people might not be aware of, and I read it somewhere also, is that towards the end of your career, and this is when you were playing for Mamelodi Sundowns,
yeah.
you would wear
Scarf.
a scarf,
Pink scarf, yeah.
while playing, and there was a reason for that.
Yeah, so this pink scarf I used to wear, it was for breast cancer awareness. I tried at the time. I used to talk about it. I used to, and yeah, at the time, I mean, we've been involved, both myself and my wife, and myself, supporting her with a lot of initiatives. There's an initiative that used to be called the Journey of Hope, where they used to travel from Joburg to Cape Town over 10 days, but they'd be, driving and riding in bikes. The idea for Walking for Good came from that as well.
Yeah.
The inspiration was that. Another inspiration was a gentleman called Marukhwane. He used to run Comrades Reading a Book. And yeah, we became friends just before he passed on, about 2-3 years ago. And I committed to him while he was still alive that our partnership will be a lifetime.
Yeah.
So so when we're donating books and stuff, so we partner with his foundation called Literacy for Life. And there's a whole lot of people that now have joined the movement, and they call it Kilometers for Books. So again, they run, to raise awareness and to raise books.
So there's a whole lot of good that is done, not just under the Baloyi Family Foundation, the Pink Wire as well. There's a lot of collaboration.
There's a lot of collaboration, and because I feel that most of the causes or things that we want to help with, there's a whole lot of other people that are already doing it.
Yeah.
So why just replicate? We'd rather just collaborate with people.
Yes.
And I'm grateful for the partnerships that we have, including one gentleman that is helping us a lot with Working for Good, Mr. Sello Hatang, former CEO of Mandela Foundation. I'm grateful to my, deputy chair of the foundation and a friend and a business partner, Mr. Tuto Daly. When I come up with crazy ideas, he never asks how we're going to do it. He just says,
let's implement.
Let's do it.
There's the 4 pillars of the Working for Good campaign, and there's a reason it's the 4, the digit, the way you write it. What are those 4 pillars or causes?
The 4 causes is, so Working for Good, our first event will be now in October, and it's Walking for Her. And for her, it's not only, for me, when I started with the whole idea was, I wanted to come up with something, how I can support my wife's causes, with Pink Warrior. And I decided then let me do something that will create awareness and help to raise funds and all of this. And I decided to come with this crazy idea of walking. And I had a chat with my business partner, and from there had a chat with friends that own Zebula in Limpopo. And they said, let's do it. And and from there, it's been just absolutely amazing how they've been giving us support, and including having to come up with the route. So yes, and from there then, when I sat with Sello Hatang as well, I mean, at the time when I sat with him, my idea, I only had Working for Her. And then I came up with Working for Water and Working for Books. And he said, why not Working for Him?
Yeah.
And I said, then he said, look, most of the time I do things, and people are always asking about the issues that we have in our country with the boy child, from drug abuse, all of these things, and that boys need mentors. from single fathers to single mothers, that are raising boys. So we decided then. So it's working for her, and then working for water, working for him, and working for books. So all the others, it's a series of works that will be coming through from next year. Working for water will be in March during my birthday month, and then in July, just before Mandela Day, I think that's when we'll do working for him. And working for books will be in September during literacy awareness or
Yeah. Well, the launch is today for Walking for Good, and which will be taking place next month during Breast Cancer Awareness Month, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So we're hoping that everything goes well there today, Brian. A lot of good work that you're doing clearly with the Baloyi Family Foundation. But I also know that there's a special connection between you and Lucas Radebe, not only the fact that you played in the national team together.
Yes, we played at Kaizer Chiefs together. When he just came to Kaizer Chiefs, that was when I was just got promoted. I remember at the time there was a gentleman as well that came through with him, Timothy Lisejan. But yeah, Lucas, connection that we share is that my wife and his late wife grew up together in Mafikeng. They grew up together in Mafikeng and even went to varsity together. They were friends, and Fezi passed on because of cancer. So there is a connection, and
And thank goodness, Phungi survived. Your wife. We continue to be grateful. Twice a survivor
Twice a survivor, and in both occasions for us, we know it's because of being detected early. Yeah. So the message that we always share with people is that early detection really do save lives.
Yeah, absolutely. Brian, I cannot let you go before I talk about some of the football stuff that's taking place at the moment. This evening, we'll see your former club, Mamelodi Sundowns, playing Orlando Pirates. Is it clash of the contenders, title contenders? I know it's early in the season. Do you look at it as one who wins has an upper hand in the title race?
I think it's still early days. I know Sundowns already has, a big gap or lead. I absolutely love how Pirates play these days. Since the last season, when you look at where they are, and you look at how they play, you sit, you watch and enjoy the type of football they're playing. And when you remember that when this coach came in, people called him a plumber. And now if you see what he's achieving with the Pirates team, with the young players as well.
2 trophies last season.
And definitely a contender for the league this season. But this clash, I always say, I would love to see the Tshwane and Joburg clubs clash, or being a Gauteng derby and being bigger than it is. The Soweto derby is such a big occasion, and I would love to see the Gauteng derby being, if not as big, at least as half as bigger as the Soweto derby is. But I think for me, I would love to see Pirates win this one, just to make the league more interesting.
Yeah.
If you look at the last 2, 3, 4 years, it's becoming boring to see, knowing that Sundowns is going to win the league. Sundowns is going to win the league.
So that's not what Brian was saying some 15 years ago when he was at Mamelodi Sundowns. But also there's going to be Kaizer Chiefs SuperSport United. So another Tshwane Soweto type of clash. But the big one, another big one is coming at the weekend. Chiefs versus Sundowns in the MTN 8. Your two former clubs. Your answer here will show us which club you always loved the most, Brian.
It's obvious it's Kaizer Chiefs. And one of the reasons as well I would love to see Pirates beat them is at least they will help beat Sundowns today, is that at least the players will be a bit demoralized and they'll be, going into the semi-final on Saturday. Then hopefully Chiefs will win today, and have an upper hand. But for me, this is how I always explain it. I say, so Kaizer Chiefs is more like my parents. Sundowns is my uncle.
Yeah.
So my allegiance will always be my parents, and uncle comes second.
Let's leave it there. Brian Baloyi declaring here on the AM Report his undying love for Kaizer Chiefs. A Bafana legend, part of the 1998 World Cup squad in France, played for the national team for a very long time, like I said, with that blonde dreadlock style that he had. Over 300 games for Kaizer Chiefs in what? Over 10 years at the club as
13.
well. 13 years at the club, wow. Let's leave it there, Brian. Thank you so much for your time. I really, really appreciate this. Yeah. And good luck with the launch a little bit later today. Not too far from where we are, actually, at our Randburg studios.